Morning. So we have our mayor who's joining us, Linnell. We can move him over from attendee to moderator to welcome everyone. We are live. Good morning, ladies. So happy to have you join us for Newark Women's Day of Wellness. I am starting to see chats come in, so please share any thoughts or feedback. I hope that you all blocked out the entire day because we have a very packed agenda for you from 9. So we're kicking it off right now all the way up till 6:30. We're just running this reel right now. And now we can keep that going. We have music for you. We have yoga, we have meditation, we have praise, we have resources and information. So very, very excited to have all of you joining us this morning. We can allow you to hop in and out as you will. I'm going to be multitasking. Many of us are multitasking in this day and age. So if you see a panel that you like and you want to hop in, and then you have to hop off, all good. We're flexible here. Our moderators and co-moderators will try to pay attention to the chat box during the day across all the different panels. So if you have any ideas, you want to enter in a snap, if there's something that you like, anything that you want to share with us, please do. Just want to welcome Jennifer Cole this morning. Welcome as well for our first session, Alana Renee. So before we kick that off, we are waiting for our mayor, Linnell, to be moved from attendee to moderator, and then we will be getting started. And he is logged in as Linda Baraka right now. We are going to just begin for now with Jen and Alana. So turning it over to you, Jen. So thanks so much, and we can stop the screen share.
Thank you, Aisha, and thank you for putting this whole program together. I just want to see who's here. There's Elena, right? Hi. So Elena and I are co-moderating, and we've only met via phone, so this is a photograph, so this is good to see you. I just want to see who's here. So hi, Jaren. Dawn's here. Alexis. Maribel. And Linnell Robinson. So it would be great if you guys would be on video with us, at least for the opening part of this session. How do you guys feel about that?
Give me just 1 second.
Okay. Thank you, Jaren. So the way
I don't mind, Jen. Just give me a second to cover.
Okay. Yes. Jen, early.
Jen, just go for it. You and Alana, we're all in the background, so our viewers just see you two because we're panelists later on in the day. So Alana and Jen, however you're gonna go, just go for whatever your spirit calls you.
Yeah, thank you, Aisha. That's what we're doing. We so part of what we want to do is interactive. So it's cool. You know, we're gonna go with whatever it is. So if you guys, you know, want to sort of be present on the video, that would be amazing. And if not, we'll go with that too. Oh, there's Renee. So I'd also like to just acknowledge Renee Talbert, who just joined us. She is going to, we have three moderators today. So there's myself, Elena, and Renee. Renee is a junior at Week Lake High School. And she is about to get her certification to be a meditation teacher. And she's going to be teaching with us today. So just want to acknowledge Renee. Linda, Juma, are we turning it over, Aisha?
No, you could keep going. It's just you and Anna.
Okay, cool. So we thought we would open this morning with introductions. And we would love to hear from you about what inspired you to show up this morning for the mindfulness session, and if there's anything in particular that you want to do or learn about or share with us. So that's how we would like to start. So I've already said I'm Jennifer Cole. I am a yoga teacher and a meditation teacher, and they're actually kind of the same things, even though they look different. And that's me. So I'm going to pass it to Elena.
Hey, thanks, Jennifer. Good morning, everybody. I'm so excited to be here this morning. Thank you for showing up. So my name's Elena Renee DeSmukes, and I am a certified yoga instructor, but I'm also, I work in corporate learning and development. So organizational change, performance management, those things that have to do with corporations and business. And that's why I'm here today to talk to you a little bit this morning about the benefits of yoga within corporations and how that might help us.
Renee, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, good morning. My name is Renee Talbert, and like Ms. Jennifer said, I go to Weekly High School, and I'm a junior, and I am one of the meditation mentors.
Awesome.
Would anybody else in the room like to introduce themselves and just share what you'd like to do for the next hour with us? Hour or so.
Good morning. My name is Dawn Haynes, and I'm looking forward to stretching with you guys. I'm excited about our yoga and our place of peace and our starting off with this positive energy of love and tranquility with one another.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Thank you. Anybody else?
Good morning, Alexis. I'm Sanduan. I'm looking to get some meditation to start my day up. I'm excited about this, and I look forward to, just feeling good.
I'm glad you're here. We finally got a class together, Alexis.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Oh, I see Marcy. Hey, Marcy. All right. Well, Elena and Renee, if it's okay with you, we'll just begin. Okay. So we're going to begin with a centering exercise. So wherever you are, see if you can just find a comfortable seat. I was going to talk a little bit about the benefits of sort of the science and the benefits of meditation and yoga, but I think we'll just do it. We'll just do our centering exercise, and we'll turn it over to Elena, and we'll go from there. And we'll definitely have question and answer time if anyone has questions. So sit up tall and close your eyes, please. And if closing your eyes is uncomfortable, then just gaze down. Right? So sometimes closing the eyes doesn't work well. So if that's the case for you, then just gaze down. And if you can close your eyes, do that. And then just be still. And bring your attention to the nose and just watch the breath as it goes in and out through the nose. And so the practice of meditation is really, it's all about just focusing the mind on one thing. And so I'm suggesting the breath, but it could be anything that you want to focus on that's uplifting. Just noticing any thoughts, noticing any sounds in the room that you're in or outside of the room. And bringing your awareness back to the breath. And before we move on, I'm going to suggest that you set an intention for your practice today. So setting an intention for this practice or for the day, just bring that into your mind. And then I'm also going to suggest that you bring into your mind how you want to feel. So as we move through this class and then, beyond, how do you want to feel today? Happy, strong, healthy, supported, like whatever it is that you want to feel, just bring that into your mind and actually into your body. Right? So if you want to feel strong, see if you can sort of conjure up that feeling. And so we're beginning our day with whatever intention we have and with a conscious awareness of how we want to feel, regardless of what the day brings. When keeping the eyes closed, just take your hands and place them on your front ribs. So we're just going to do a little bit of a breathing exercise. So, any breathing exercise in yoga, we call it pranayama. Breathing exercises affect how we feel. They can feel calming or stimulating or, they have different effects on the body. They help to strengthen our lungs, increase lung capacity, which is important. All the time, especially during this time with COVID. So we're going to work with the breath a little bit. So hands on the front ribs. And as you inhale and exhale, just feel the rib cage expanding as you inhale and contracting as you exhale. And you can deepen the breath a little bit if that feels comfortable. And if it doesn't, don't worry about it. Natural breath is fine. And then take the hands and place them on the side ribs. And if I'm not making sense, you can look at me. I'm demonstrating. So the hands are on the side ribs. If you're holding the rib cage. And as you inhale, feel the side ribs expand out. And as you exhale, feel them contract. And again, if you can begin to deepen the breath, do that. And then take the hands and place them on the back ribs. So reach around as best as you can and just have your hands on the back ribs. And as you're inhaling and exhaling, feel the rib cage expanding. And contracting. And then come back to neutral. And as you're ready, open the eyes. And I'm going to turn this over to Elena.
So thanks, Jen. That was good breathing. So I just really want to try to get a feel for where everybody is. So I think you have an opportunity to either write it in your chat or raise your hand or something interactive. I'd like to know how many folks have tried yoga. If you tried yoga, put a 1. if you practice yoga, go ahead.
No, I'll check. I'll keep my eye on the chat for you.
Oh, good. Thank you. So if you've tried yoga, enter a 1. If you've practiced yoga, or if you've understand and you've had an opportunity to practice yoga, whether you enjoy it, whether you're a newbie, give me a 2.
We have a lot of ones.
And if you have been offered practice of yoga and or meditation at work, give me a 3. Any 3s out there, Jennifer?
Yeah, there's some 3s. It's pretty
Excellent.
deep. 1s, 2s, and 3s.
Okay, so somebody from the 3 category, would you like to say something about the experience you've had with yoga at work? Because that's what we're going to talk about today. Just take your mic off if you can, or raise your hand.
Okay. Yashima Maria said it was great.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else? Well, anybody else, Jen? We good?
Awesome. Relaxing.
There you go. Those are
I
the
thought it was going to be easy, but it really worked my legs. Yeah.
yes.
Good way to start the day, transition from home to work. Jaren, yeah.
Yes. It's something that's actually, the benefits of yoga speak volumes, to us as individuals. But one of the things I really want to stress today is how corporations are really starting to understand the link between productivity and stress reduction, between productivity and the use of meditation and yoga to really kind of reduce all of that. So what we learn in the corporate environment is that not only does it increase employee productivity, it decreases their stress and the anxiety in the workplace. It actually is a motivator. It motivates people and supports us in what I believe is the theme of today's conference, work-life balance. And so when we talk about promoting work-life balance, I think corporations have really come into an understanding that absenteeism, the staff turnover, that attitudes and the lack of productivity is involved, is a result or is impacted by the amount of stress and anxiety people are going through. And so that's what you see today. In a time where inclusion is becoming movement, people are, and corporations and businesses, large and small, are incorporating yoga into their employees' lives. And that can have a benefit that goes beyond a paycheck. It helps us both mentally and physically in our health. It helps us increase our energy levels and allows us to become more energized, more able to produce, and more motivated. I thought about why this session was important to me. And so that's where I'll get to right now. I started in corporate learning and development many years ago, and the stress level of our users was almost insurmountable. And so you start to see that people are just drained. They're just drained. And so I think it's a good thing that organizations are now recognizing the need to make some changes, and make the changes not for a bottom line profit, but for a bottom line in humanity, and to move people forward in terms of how they can manage the day-to-day living responsibilities along with the work stress and just what's going on in the world today. I mean, we have a lot going on. So when you talk about yoga, let's talk specifically for a moment about poses. I see people do all kinds of twisty poses, but really just the easiest and the simplest yoga positions can be very helpful in reducing stress, but not only stress, physical pain. And I think that's one of the things that I'd like to stress to you this morning. I started teaching yoga about a year ago after I got certified myself. And what I found was that women were in pain a lot. My wrist hurt, my back hurt, my butt cheeks hurt, right? Everything was hurting. And I kept wondering why that is, but that's because our bodies are racked with stress. And whether you live a comfortable life or whether you live a more challenging life, there's stress in your life. And so the poses, that's what I found were the most helpful. Very simple, straightforward poses, similar to what Jennifer showed us this morning. Just reaching behind the body and feeling the breath and in the increase in the rib cage and taking a moment to just breathe. Those kinds of things can have a real improvement in the well-being and health of our employees. So I'd like to offer at the end of this session an opportunity for, well, actually, I'm going to just send some resources if that's okay, to show you some poses that you can do right at your desk. If you're working or if you're seating, there's poses that you can do. I have about 10 of them, and they'll help you to just kind of take the stress off and just kind of relax into your day. The other thing I want to talk about is beyond just yoga and poses and physical pain reduction is something called Audible Meditation. And that's just listening to music and or some kind of meditative wellness sound and wellness and sound. Oh, I did in my show. I didn't. There we go. Sorry, guys. So, yeah, it's about Audible. I'm sorry. I have my notes here in front of me now. I clicked them all. So, sound meditation, bowls and rings and things that chime. Those are the things that I wanted to talk about, and how the sound of music can really soothe us and calm us. So if I didn't have notes, and let's just say that I don't have them anymore, you know, I think part of what meditation can do is help us not improve our physical bodies, but improve our mental and our attitude. It can help our mood. It can help us focus. It can help us with our ability to be resilient and to interact positively. You know, music is almost a natural reliever, pain reliever, anxiety reliever. And so I think about music, and that's one of my favorite things in the world. But one of the things that I did do is a case study. And so I looked at a study of a company that uses meditation. And what I found is a company called Progressive. We know Progressive Insurance. They offer their employees 24-hour streaming of meditative music, meditation tracks, and things that will help their employees with just basic depression. Yeah, so that's what I'm finished. Go ahead, honey. I'm sorry.
No, I think someone crashed our party.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we were talking about Progressive and this whole thing that I'm super excited about. 24-hour basis. They provide streaming to their employees 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Why? Because it helps folks with their smoking, with anxiety, with depression. It actually is about smoke cessation, weight loss. There's a lot of ways that you can use audible meditation to support your lifestyle. And the thing that I thought was real telling about the Progressive case study was that they've gotten so good at using meditation streaming to help people. They now do that. They have a track that they play, a 3 to 5 minute track before regular team meetings, just so folks can calm themselves and begin to focus on the meeting at hand. I thought that was a pretty interesting thing, and they give them guided meditations to help them along the way so that you can visualize things and work through some of the meditation or some of the anxiety that you may be going through as a person. So as I look back and think about corporations and helping people de-stress and relax themselves, people need to relax. And even though work is not a place where we relax, we need a lot more relaxation in that environment. So saying that, does anybody have any questions about what I've said or any comments about what I've shared with you? I don't know if you can take your mics off. If you can open up freely.
I don't think we can, Elena. I think because there were so many participants, we just
There
learned.
would be too many.
Yeah, but I'm checking the chat.
Okay.
So that we are getting questions about, I'll act as a voice of God a little bit and read some questions so that way you guys could
Thank you.
present.
Okay.
We are getting some questions about ongoing sessions, or where can people access any programs or classes virtually.
Right. So we'll talk about that because I do have a list of resources that I would like to send to you and allow you to share those with folks, because there's a lot of stuff on YouTube. There's a lot of great resources available. Because here's the third point that I wanted to talk about. Those of us who have had an opportunity to benefit from corporations' understanding of how these two tools can help us in being more productive. That's great for folks who are working. That's great for companies who can afford to implement those kinds of tools. But then there's another population that we don't ever want to forget, and that's those folks who don't have those benefits, who don't have those tools at the ready. And so one of the things that I wanted to talk about was, beyond yoga at work, what about yoga at home? And what are some things that we can do to help ourselves? And that's the area I think folks would most likely benefit from, because yes, it's great to be around others, but sometimes I think it's important to start practicing for yourself. And sometimes that can be done by, I mean, we're home anyway. We're stuck in the house. I'm stuck in the house for months now. So it's a great time for folks to begin to think about, what can I do to make space or create a space, just a small space, where I can begin to center on myself. That's what yoga is for. It's an inside job. It's an inside practice. So you don't really need to go to a studio. You don't really have to visit, a luxurious studio. I mean, unless you want to, but if you're a beginner, if you've never tried it, or even if you have tried it and you just can't make it to a studio, just think about locating a small space in the house, just long enough for a mat to sit upon, and you can roll over on both sides. That's enough room, and think about how you could utilize YouTube and other resources. There's Gaia, there's things that you can buy. And I'm of that mind that until I enjoy it, I don't really want to buy it. So you can use YouTube to find free videos, free interactions, free 5-minute sessions or 20-minute sessions to really help you to start to physically see how these things can help you. Because one of the things that I would tell my yoga students is that the reason that your wrist hurt is because you haven't used them in this way. The reason that your knees hurt is because you haven't used them in these ways. And so I think part of the challenge for newbies is getting into the studio and not feeling uncomfortable that everybody else seems to be ahead of them. And so I encourage folks to practice at home. Find a small space, as I said, and don't consider that this is about anybody except for yourself. So the YouTube videos that I have for you, you do not need to go all out. It's, like I said, an inside job, and the focus really needs to be on why you're doing it for yourself, and that you're doing it for yourself in a sense of relieving your own stress. One of the things that I am a strong advocate of is self-help. And I will always encourage people that before you ask someone else to help you, you probably need to do some work to help yourself. And so when it comes to yoga and meditation, there's a lot of tools out here. And all we need to do is take a moment and look for those tools. We'll be able to help ourselves in ways that previously we were unable to. So as a woman of color, I am always thinking about how can we do something to help ourselves. And even though practicing yoga may be something you do at home, I would also encourage any moms in our audience today to think about how to turn your practice into a family practice so that everyone in the house is benefiting from the few stretches and the few exhalations and inhalations that you can be taking to reduce the stress, not only at work, but also in your home. So that's a point that I really wanted to come to because I appreciate what corporations are doing. And I appreciate how they're helping people. But what I think is also within our capability is to take some of the things that we don't have right off of the internet, right off of social media channels and media sources, and use that stuff to help ourselves. Because a lot of the time, the things that we get in corporations never really trickle down to the mainstream. You have to be lucky enough to work at a company that provides these services. And that's why I say, for us, as people who don't always get in on the bottom floor, sometimes we have to, create our own inroads. And so I hope that resonates with people in terms of understanding this is a gift. Yoga and meditation are gifts, and they are tools that can help us in an environment where you are stressed every day, practically just by getting up and walking out of the house. So when we think about that, it is incumbent on us as women, as mothers, as sisters, to help find ways, and they can be very inexpensive ways, to serve our families and to serve each other. And so that's why I involved myself in yoga in the first place, is because it was really about trying to find a way to help young people focus. I was teaching at schools, I was doing character development in public schools, and these children could not focus. Why? Because they were surviving day to day. They had more challenges as 10, as I'm sorry, they had more challenges at 14 and 16-year-olds than I ever had at that age. And so what I realized is that you can't teach character, you can't teach strength of character or moral compass to people who are basically stressed out. And that's how I got involved in yoga, to bring it to young people. But what I realized is yoga needs to be taught and meditation needs to be gifted to everyone. And the only way we're going to get those gifts is sometimes is if we have to go out and get them ourselves. And so I'm pleased that this conference is happening this morning. I'm grateful that you've asked me to speak a little bit, but the benefits of yoga reach well beyond a corporation, well beyond a business. They reach right into the hearts of each of us as persons. And I believe that as women, we're leaders. We're born leaders. We have to lead. We lead families. And so in those instances, this is an opportunity for you to really begin to think, how can I add this not only at work, if I'm qualified, I can teach others at work, but how can you teach those people who you live with and who are dealing with stress themselves? So Jennifer, I really just wanted to cover just those topics and then really just open it up for conversation or question and answer. So if there are a few questions, I'm happy to address them. We can share the addressing of them and see where it goes from there. That work?
Yeah, 100%. So I think one of the questions was, where are there yoga and meditation classes?
Mm-hmm.
So the Shawnee Baraka Center, who I believe is hosting our event, and there's a class. There's no cost. It's every Wednesday evening from 6 to 7. We were doing it at the Shawnee Center prior to COVID, and now we have the class online.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Elena will start teaching.
Actually, I did do some, branding professional branding workshops at the Baraka Center.
Cool.
So I really was enjoying doing those, and that is a great resource. This, and I'm going to say it because I do love this center. This center really does seek to support women in a variety of ways. And so, like Jennifer said, she has a session that she does online now, but there are a host of resources at that center. But like I said, I'm going to send the moderators of this conference a list of YouTube videos and just simple poses, because there's just graphs that you could use that show you the 10 poses that you can practice on a daily basis. It can be as simple as just tacking up a chart and practicing those poses in your little space. So I think I can do that at the end of the session to provide some more resources for folks who are really interested in doing a self-serve. Any other questions come through?
Oh, I just wanted to, I just wanted to finish sharing some of the resources in Newark where there are classes available for everyone. So there's the Shawnee Center on Wednesdays at 6. There's another yoga company. There's something called the Newark Yoga Movement, who they do a lot of stuff live on Facebook, so that they teach in Newark. So, you can check them out on Facebook, and I know they do a lot of Facebook live classes. There's a gentleman, I think it's mostly women on this call, but still, Tyrone Day. He's a Newark resident, works for Newark Public Schools, just got his certification in yoga and meditation. There's Brick City Buddha. So I think, to echo Elena's thoughts, we can definitely maybe put a list together. I think Elena has a list, and I can sort of add some as well, so that everyone has a comprehensive list of local resources. Of course, with doing this virtually, you can take class anywhere around the world, but I think it's cool to also support our local practitioners. So we'll make sure that you guys are aware of them. Somebody on here, well, there are a lot of people, I know Aisha, I think, is reading this more closely than I am, but yes, we can, Jerem. We're going to do yoga in a minute. She's like, can we do yoga? Yes, I'm ready. A lot of folks are writing in saying they do yoga. It's very helpful to them. So that's awesome. Somebody wrote, I forgot the name, but somebody wrote and mentioned that they like restorative yoga, that the other yoga is stressful. And what I wanted to say to that, so restorative yoga, for anyone who's not clear about the different styles of yoga, because there are many, restorative yoga is more using props, bolsters under the knees, legs up the wall, where you're not as active, but you are positioning your body in a way that is healing. And it is very impactful. And probably many of us, myself included, are drawn to the more physical yoga. I mean, I'm getting older, so I've, like, I can still jump into a push-up, but I enjoy a slower paced yoga a lot of times now. But many of us are drawn to the more active yoga, which is great, the vinyasa flow, which is also known as power yoga. And in my experience, the restorative yoga is actually like where it's at in terms of impact on the nervous system and also restoring the body. Even if you don't have any injuries, a lot of athletes benefit from restorative yoga. So I agree with you. I like that comment. And also I just want to make the point to everybody that it is, I think, important if you want to practice yoga to find the style that works for you, right? There are so many paths that all lead to the same place, which is to, the health and overall health and well-being. So, I'm sure Elena and I can answer questions later after we do some yoga. Someone wrote vinyasa. Yeah, we can answer questions about different styles of yoga and meditation. Mm-hmm. Again, it's sort of like many paths with the same goal, which is our overall well-being. So you just have to find the one that works for you. And one person asked if I offer a meditation certification. And we can talk about that offline. Elena and I will give you our information. Yes, Lotus Yoga. I have another job as well. Thankfully, I'm grateful to have the other job, which is actually a yoga practice too, but that's another conversation. Yeah, so I am a certified yoga school, Lotus Yoga, as 500 can do certified yoga teachers. I've done teacher trainings in Newark and outside of Newark, and right now I'm doing the best training I've ever done, which is the meditation mentor training. So we're certifying a group of students from Weequahic, Lead, and Eastside. So the hub is at Weequahic, but the students, and Renee's going to teach us in a little bit, are training to become, we call it meditation mentors, and they're doing a 100-hour meditation certification. So yeah. And I do think, and then we're going to do yoga. Elena, is that good if we do some stretches? We ready? I think people are ready to do some movement. I do want to say this. People are asking for info. So I'm going to give you, Elena and I are going to give you information. We'll put it in the chat, how you can get in touch with us. Okay? I do think this, if I may, in the city of Newark alone, and I'm assuming a lot of folks on this, in this program, in this room, are from Newark, there are contracts given out for health and wellness programs through the school system and through other organizations. And I don't know, I sort of heard Elena speaking to this a little bit earlier, and I want to echo it, and I'm not from Newark. Right? And so I do live here now, but I'm not from here. And I am someone who has gotten contracts. And I think that Newark residents who are interested in teaching yoga, meditation, any health and wellness modalities should be getting those contracts. So, so I'm here to help you navigate that if that's helpful. Mm-hmm. Right, Elena? We're in that one. So
awesome. So can we do some meditation now?
Let's do it. We're going to do some yoga. I'm seeing people that say they want to do yoga.
Okay.
So let's do some stretches. We're not going to do anything crazy. So our Restorative Yoga fan, it's going to be okay. And also, guess what? You can do what you want and not do what you don't want to do. So.
That's the beauty of doing it at home, right? Nobody knows what you're really doing.
Well, they're going to see what we're doing, Elena, because we're on video. So we're sitting now. If you're standing, that's cool. But just sit well. So sit straight, so your spine is straight. And look at me if you need to. Otherwise, just gaze down, right? Or just keep your gaze soft. You're going to interlace your fingers. Interlace your fingers and press your palms forward. You're going to really stretch those arms. Inhale, reach your arms up. Really stretch up. Don't worry if your shoulders are crunching up next to your ears.
Don't worry if you have underarm here.
Stretch up. Yeah, don't worry about any of that. Inhale, it's yoga. Exhale, arms down. Good. Keep your arms straight as they come down. And again, interlace the fingers. Press the palms forward. Inhale, stretch up. Really stretch up. And exhale, arms down. Good. One more time. Interlace the fingers. Press the palms forward and up. Big inhale here. And exhale, arms come down. Beautiful. Take a twist to the right. So I'm just going to take my left hand to the outside of my right knee and twist to the right. Holding here. So twisting is really good for you. It pumps fresh blood into the organs and moves toxins through. So twisting is good. It also helps with any back issues. If you have back problems, twisting is one of the remedies. Come back to center, please, and twist left. We're going to hold it here for a few breaths. Don't be in a rush to move on. This is coming from someone who's often in a rush. But we're going to hold it here and breathe deeply. Come back to center. And then we're going to come stand up. So if you're wherever you are, see if you can stand up. Just going to adjust my screen so that you can see me. I hope you can. So standing up, feet together, and arms alongside you. Feet together, legs together, like you have one leg, squeeze the legs. Inhale, reach the arms up, look up at your palms, really stretch up. And then as you exhale, you're going to come all the way down, hands to the floor or your shin. So come all the way down, hands to the floor. Release the neck. Release the neck. We're going to stay here. If you need to bend your knees, bend them. If you don't need to bend your knees, keep the legs nice and straight. Inhale, come all the way back up. Palms touch overhead. And exhale, arms alongside you. 2 more like that. Moving with the breath. Inhale, reach the arms up, palms touch. Exhale, come all the way down, hands to the floor. Inhale, look up. And exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way back up. Palms touch overhead. Exhale, arms alongside you. Last one. Inhale, arms up, palms touch. Exhale, come all the way down, hands to the floor. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way back up, palms touch. And exhale, arms alongside you. Good. Separate your feet. So you want to separate your feet as wide as you comfortably can. Maybe one leg length. Turn the right toes out and the left toes in. Arms out to the side. We're going to come into triangle pose. Holding and breathing. So you can look up, you can look down. Breathing deeply. Beautiful. Come on up. Relax the arms and switch. So left toes out. I'm mirroring you. Right toes in. Arms out to the side and come into your triangle pose. So everything we're doing today should be pretty safe for everybody. Always when you're doing yoga stretches, the breathing, even the meditation, it may be boring, that's fine. But if it feels wrong, if it hurts or just feels wrong, it probably is, so come out of it right away. Come back to mountain pose. Find a spot on the floor, keep your gaze steady, turn the right toes out, and bring the right foot to the inner left leg, either below the knee, or if you want to take it further, you can reach down and bring the foot all the way up to the top of the thigh. What you want to avoid is the knee, there's the tibia bone right there on the knee. You can hang your heel there. Don't do that. Okay? So the heel can be below or above. Reach the arms up. Hold it here. Breathing in and out through the nose. Need to better position my camera. Good. When you're ready, come out and we'll go to the other side. So turn the left toes out. Bring the foot up or down, whichever you prefer. Heel above the knee or below the knee, arms up. Keep your eyes focused on one spot. And when you're ready, release. Good. You're going to take your hands behind your back, interlace the fingers and press the palms together. If this doesn't work for you for any reason, you can just hold opposite elbows. So just gently opening up the chest. Step your right foot forward and your left foot back. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, come forward, chin to shin. So either you're holding opposite elbows or you've interlaced the fingers, folding forward. Breathing in and out through the nose. Inhale, come up. Exhale, step the feet together. Second side, I'll turn sideways so you can see my profile. Left foot forward, right foot back. Either interlace the fingers or hold behind the back or hold opposite elbows. Inhale, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, come forward, chin to shin, arms reach overhead.
Breathing in and out through the nose. So when we stretch the back of the body, we are activating the parasympathetic nervous system, so it's quieting, calming, etc. When we come into our back bends, it's more enlivening, right? So go ahead and release, shake out the arms. Separate the feet, again, approximately one leg length. Turn the toes in. So you're pigeon-toeing your feet a little bit. That helps protect your back. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, come forward. Take the hands to the floor. Good. As you inhale, reach your right arm up. Really stretch up. Exhale, right hand down. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale it down. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale down. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale down. This time, take your left hand to the outside of your right calf. So left hand holds the outside of the right leg. Hold it there. Reach the right arm up for a deeper stretch, deeper twist. Holding and breathing. And then release, and we'll go to the other side. So the right hand comes to the outside of the left calf. Take the left arm up. Look up, breathing deeply. Good. And come back to center. Release the neck. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. And if you can, flutter your lips, which relaxes the face. Inhale, look up. Exhale, hands to waist. And inhale, come up. Good. Feet together. Stay with me. We're going to make our way down to sit and do a couple stretches there. And then Renee is going to lead us through a nice meditation. Bring the hands to the heart center. So legs are together. Quadriceps, thighs engaged, navel in and up, hands in prayer at the heart center. Close the eyes. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here. If you were with us at the very beginning of class and you set an intention for your day, bring that intention into your mind. If you identified a feeling that you wanted to have for the rest of the day, bring that feeling into your body. Open the eyes, rise up onto the balls of the feet. So I feel like, I don't know if you can see me, but you're going to balance on the balls of your feet and slowly begin to descend. All right, so stay with it. Don't come out. I'm going to move. I didn't know if I was doing actual yoga, so I apologize for having to adjust the camera. So we're balancing on the balls of the feet and we're lowering down. Everybody do it. Everyone try. Any amount is good, right? So I've taught quadriplegics and paraplegics. So if, look, we can all do something. Separate the knees. Place your hands on the floor just for fun. I know Aisha can do this. I don't know if she's doing it, but I know she can. Place your hands on the floor.
I'm participating. We're all with you, Jen.
Lift the hips, squeeze the shoulders with the knees, and lift one foot and then the other, and see if you can catch your balance. And then have a seat. All right, feet together, knees apart. Come into the butterfly position, folding forward. Deep breathing. And then come on up. Separate your feet into a V. Legs are straight. Spine is straight. So, Elena, I love how she was talking about the workplace. I know when I'm at my other job, I'm not doing yoga, right? In my office, I'm not. However, what is absolutely helpful is and beneficial for the breathing is the side stretching. So it's important that we stretch through the side body. I mean, all stretching is important, okay? But just a few side stretches can make all the difference in the world. So take that left hand, slide it down to the left foot, take the right arm up and over. Any amount, any amount. And as you inhale and exhale, feel the right ribs expanding and the left ribs, right? But especially through that right side body. Feel the expansion on the inhale and the contraction on the exhale. Come back to center and we'll go the other way. So slide that right hand down. Take that left arm up and over. Breathing deeply. Come on back. Bring your legs together and just fold forward any amount. Come back up, cross the legs. If you have, I don't know how everyone's sitting, I mean, I can't see you all. If you're sitting in a chair, that's great. I'm sitting up on a cushion. This is a meditation cushion, but you can use anything, a pillow from the couch, a blanket, whatever. But when you sit for meditation practice, you want to sit up on something. You want your hips to be higher than the knees, or at least close to. And the reason why is that it supports your low back. So that's a suggestion. Renee, are you here? Yeah, there she is. So thank you guys so much for stretching with me. I appreciate it. I'm going to turn this over to Renee.
Okay, so everyone, let's get into a comfortable position in a posture that feels relaxed yet alert. And close your eyes. Now take a few long, deep breaths to relax the mind and body. So breathe in and out. Take a slow, deep belly breath. Hold it for a moment. Then gently release that breath. Take a deep, slow breath and release. Allowing any tension you're holding to melt away. Breathe in and out. And naturally allow your breathing to become light and easy, allowing the rise and fall of the breath. And just follow the breath as it flows through you. Following it in, following it out, breath by breath, moment by moment. Breathe in and out. You might notice some thoughts rising as you sit, thoughts about the past, the future, thoughts about something you should have said or done. Don't make an effort to look for those thoughts, but when they arise, simply notice them. Letting your thoughts come in, letting them go, letting your emotions come, letting your emotions go. Not getting caught up in them, simply observe them. Allow everything to come and go, like the breath after breath after breath after breath. And breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. And as we approach the end of this session, just relax your attention. Come back to the room, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Thank you, Renee.
My pleasure.
So we have a few minutes left. We have 10 minutes left. Were there, I haven't been checking the chat, but are there any questions?
So I have been looking at one of the questions, and Nadine asked, which is more beneficial when meditating, inhaling through the nose and then exhaling through the mouth or through the nose? No, I thought it was a very important question because what we do in yoga is part of the exhale is to help to release toxins from your body. And so when you breathe out through the mouth, so when you exhale through the nose, that's fine. Breathing out through the mouth, sometimes you'll breathe out audibly to help to release those toxins. So in answer to your question, it's more beneficial to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth to help not only breathe, but also to release toxins.
Yeah, so was the question, I didn't see the question, was the question about meditation or yoga or both?
It was about meditation, but I was really just talking about breathing in through the nose in terms of, and in through the mouth for yoga. I was really speaking about yoga. So if it's different from meditation, let us know.
Yeah, so in meditation, that's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
So in meditation, it's not a breathing practice, right? So there are different, things that we may do that are breathing practices, but the actual meditation practice, which is literally the practice of being still and either observing, right? Like observing observing what's happening and bringing your attention back to the breath. The breath being the point of focus, right? So the breath is natural. There's no special breathing done during meditation. So you're just allowing the breath to naturally go in and out through the nose. I mean, obviously, if you are stuffy, then you're using your mouth. So in meditation, I know I'm repeating myself, just to be clear. I'm seeing good questions.
There was a lot of them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to be clear, so there's no special breathing done in meditation, meditation per se. I see someone.
So another question I'm going to help you guys field so you can, you don't have to multitask, asking if you can do yoga with music. Michelle is saying she has ADD.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You can do yoga with music, and one of the things that I do when I was teaching yoga is I would use music that was inspirational. So sometimes people use, music that has no words, but I use music. I enjoy music that is inspiring to us. So someone mentioned the soulful Christian class or something in the chat line, so I thought that was helpful. Any music that inspires you, I would do yoga to.
Great. And earlier we had a question about mindfulness, and maybe I'll just ask either or both of you to take it. What is the difference, and what are some techniques that you can help us with in order to just be more mindful and present?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm going to say that the meditation, meditation is synonymous with mindfulness, right? So the practice of meditation is literally the practice of sitting still, right? And not reacting to the thought, to the movement, to the sensation, or the desire to move, to the sensation, to the emotion. It's literally the practice of observing what is and keeping I keep using the hand movement because here's your focus and then here's the mind, right? That's what the mind does. So when we're talking about mindfulness, literally if you practice, what starts to happen is that you experience it in your body, not just your mind. Like, I'll speak for myself. I know what I'm supposed to do. I know what do I always say the right thing or do I always react appropriately? Of course not, right? Because I'm human. However, the more I practice, the more choice I have about how I react, because I literally, even though I might know what I'm supposed to do, my body might do something different. when you practice meditation, you become more mindful. I hope that makes sense. So literally,
Say that again, Jen. Can you say that again? I'm sorry. That was a nugget. And because this is not as interactive, I'm here snapping. I'm like, yes, say that again, please.
meditate more. Yeah, yes. So I don't know exactly what I said, but I do know the essence of it. Literally, the more you practice, and I'm going to just say meditation, or you can call it mindfulness, but being still, right, and directing the mind to one point, the more your body, the more choice you have, because literally, physically, your body causes you to pause, right? Your consciousness actually expands, and you become more mindful. So instead of just the reaction, or whether it's with eating, or whether it's with talking, or whatever it is, right? Working too much, whatever it is, you start to become more aware of your choices, and that just literally happens. Like we know what we should do or what we want to do, but to have it actually be our physical experience is where that's where it's at. One thing that I mean, as far as what you can do during the day is you can literally, one thing I've learned is that if I'm panicking, if I'm late, if I'm upset, I can literally stop. I don't know if this makes any sense, but you have the ability to stop and take a breath, right? You don't have to let your nervous system get carried away. So I don't hope I answered the question, but just by practicing the pause, and I think that it becomes easier the more that you practice meditation. If you can sit for 5 minutes a day, that's great. If you can sit for 5 minutes a week, that's great. Ideally, we want to sit for at least 20 minutes per session. So that's not to be goal oriented, but that's where you want what you want to do, and the reason why is because that's how what happens when you sit still is that regardless of what's going on, the nervous system starts to follow suit, right? So the mind affects the body affects the mind. When you sit, the brain literally starts in this order from front to back, starts to quiet down. So that's where the 20 minutes comes in. I hope I answered the question.
Yes, thank you. And I think people join at different times, so there's some repetition in the Q&A just about links or resources. So I think maybe because we are in this virtual mode, if we can give some links to resources for folks to do virtually, and then as we begin to prepare to open up again, maybe just share specific locations that people can go to. And then my own question that I'll bury in there is, how does somebody start, right? You're both have been in this space for a while and are really kind of experts in your field, but how would someone just get started? So resources, and then getting started, and then then you guys can end it however else you'd like.
Go ahead, Elena.
So in terms of getting started, I think in terms of getting started, I think it's important to remember that yoga and meditation are both called practices. They are not called perfects. They are not called masters. They are called practices. And so that means that wherever you start is good enough. And so I think that sets you off on a course to say, I don't have to go way out of my way. I just need to start. And I think that level of motivation will inspire you. I don't know how else to say it. One of the beautiful things about meditation is, like Jennifer said, it forces us to stand still and calm the mind. And actually what that does is it opens up more opportunities to respond in a different way, more opportunities to choose a different path or to make a different decision. And in our day-to-day, we get so caught up. So in terms of finding a way to start, it starts by simply saying, I'm going to try this and I'm going to practice until I, can graduate to another level. So practice, in terms of practice, find that small space in the house, roll out a mat or even a towel, and take 5 minutes and keep calling your mind back to the center to just not judge. When we're talking about meditation, just keep calling the mind back into the center so that you begin to understand and allow your brain to shut down, quiet down, and you can begin to focus on things. And then the postures, those postures are done in conjunction with your breathing so that they help the body to calm down and to strengthen itself, because that's what the meditation, the yoga is doing. It's really helping to tighten and strengthen your core. And the meditation is helping to calm the mind so that your attitude and your responses are the attitudes and responses that you want to project. Anything else, Jennifer?
I feel like what I want to say, what really has been helpful to me, I've been doing this for about 22 years. Seriously doing it. And I think I think it's helpful to find the teacher that you vibe with, that you resonate with. I think you start where you start. You can come to my class and I promise you, I will not be offended if you say, you know what, thank you, good information, but I'm not really here's what I'm looking for, and I will help you find another teacher. You can have many teachers, but what I'm saying is I think that, at least for me, I was drawn to certain teachers, and it was the teachers that I really, connected with, probably with anything, that I was able to learn from. So if you're looking at, so that's also advice for people that really want to understand and really want to practice, to find, check out different places and just find a teacher that works for you. That makes sense.
Great. Well, thank you both. That was very relaxing. Appreciate kind of guiding us through that and kicking off what is definitely going to be a great day centered around wellness. You both brought a wealth of information, great feedback from our participants. So enjoy the rest of your day. Be well, keep peaceful, and thank you again for joining us.
I have one question.
Go for it.
Do we have a way to communicate with all the participants so Elena and I can get the resources? And also, some folks were asking about training programs.
Yes, please. If either of you want to post directly into the chat, please do. If you can't do it now, you need to do it after you kind of transition as an attendee rather than a panelist. You can post there. If you want to text me or send it, I can also post it. So
information in, and y'all can reach out. Yeah, just make it simple. And Elena, you want to do that too, and then they can just coordinate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, I'll just there's several resources that I have put together.
You want me to put your number in there or no?
No. I'm just saying that I put together a list of resources. So what I'll do is I'll use the chat box to send a couple, 3 things. Is that okay?
Great. Perfect.
And special thanks to Renee. I'm seeing people complimenting the meditation. And thank you, Renee, wherever you are.
She did an excellent job. Everyone loved her. I love the music, the water. That was spot on. So thank you, ladies.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Have a great day.
You too. Enjoy. So now we will just transition. We're working our way into the next 10:30 panel. So thank you, ladies, for joining us today. We have a pretty packed schedule for you all. So excited that you're carving out time, whether it's for one panel or all 8. Really just happy that you'll be joining us. Linnell, on the kind of background technical side, you can start transitioning some of our 10:30 speakers over, that would be great. And Jen and Alana, if you're still available to watch or participate, we'd love to have you. Not kicking you out of the room by any stretch of the imagination, but wanted to be sure that we begin to tee up our next panel. So we're going to take a little mini 5-minute break. Maybe you all can take some of the stretching exercises. Maybe you can breathe. We don't expect you to sit in front of a computer for the entire day. So take these couple of minutes for any bio breaks, maybe a little bit of tea. We will be rolling, Linnell, we will be rolling commercials, so to speak, just some information about things that are going on around the city. And as we get all of our next speakers teed up, we hope that you take this in, take a little bit of time, see what else is going on in the city that you might want to join. There's a virtual discussion this Saturday, recovery plan for our faith-based community. That'll be Saturday the 30th at 10 a.m. There's always a ton of information and things going on around the city. So if you are not following the city's social media page, you should. There's really a wealth of information. So as we begin our transition over to the next panel, that panel is called Safe Space, Keeping Your Home and Body Safe During COVID-19. That means so many things. And so we try to pack a lot into this next panel and have an amazing list of speakers for you all who I think are really gonna help lay out what being safe means in your home. So we have Dr. Chris Purnell from University Hospital joining us. We have Josephine Garcia from Newark Board of Education. We have Dr. Janice Johnson, who is the president of the Grassroots Community Foundation, and the panel will be moderated by Lakeisha Yuri from the Office of Violence Prevention. So we wanted to be able to give more information about what it means to stay healthy in your homes. That could be a little bit of your sanity on a more practical level, how you can keep the interior of your home safe for you and your family, and that ranges from everything, right? That's from health and wellness, keeping your home clean and sanitized, really thinking about the impact that COVID-19 has had from a domestic violence lens. So again, just really, really pleased that everybody has been able to join us. This is a list of our speakers. We're gonna just keep this on this page for the next 2 minutes as we wait for our panel to officially begin at 10:30.